Everyone, and welcome to the One Conscious Love Network. I'm so thrilled to have you here today. We have a beautiful group of healers and practitioners today that are going to do some speed healing event. This is all hosted in the One Conscious Love Network. If you are not part of the One Conscious Love Network, the link will be in the comments. And so please join us. We would love to have you in our community. These are beautiful souls and would definitely benefit from having all of you join us. And so without further ado, we're going to start with introductions. So everyone, if you could introduce yourself, tell us where you're dialing in from today, and how is it that you shed your light in the world? So Vinaya, you're first on my screen, so I'll come to you first.
I knew it. Oops. I am dialing in from Mexico at the moment, where I'm going to be staying for the next 3 months, and then God is laughing. The plan is to go to Peru. So, what is my major thing is basically, okay, like a little example. If I'm a tourist and I go to Japan, for example, or to China, to some totally different cultures, I do learn something from these people that, okay, there's different ways of doing things and yeah, yada, yada, yada. And I can be an example of one can be different and still happy. Now, my major modality is just being here as a tourist on planet Earth and living an example that life has no problems. This is just a great adventure. And we all can step into that. If that little guy from Germany can do that, well, born in Germany, still a tourist, then everybody can. And that is my major job, just to be an example. And then when people feel inclined to inquire, like, how do you manage to have this wonderful life? And why don't you have any problems? And da 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 da. Then I can help them by giving them readings, and I use crystals for that. And I am somewhat able to connect with that person energetically. And then what comes out is not out of my mind because I don't know nothing. Uh, but what comes out is your higher self speaks through me, pointing out how can you be more empowered? How can you live the life you actually envisioned before you came here? Before all the programming and all the stories happened in our lives. And many of us do have a feeling that there's something missing. There's some, even though wonderful love affair, wonderful ice cream, whatever, life is actually great, but there's still something missing. And that is important to become aware of because that what is missing is your job, is are your gifts, is why you are here. So that alone, in my experience with other people and myself, is the one thing which really makes a life worthwhile living. I'm authentically myself and I'm not playing game. And okay, I'm not fitting, no problem, because yeah, we don't fit. We all are individuals. So putting myself, and that's what I learned when I grew up in Germany, like we get put in the box of being a German and doing the German thing. And it didn't feel right. So then I started looking, what is it really what I'm here for? And through the experience of 50 years of like working on myself and helping other people for like 30 plus years who do want to fill this void, this unexplainable missing thing in their life. That's what I'm doing. And it just gives me an amazing contentment to see other people suddenly like, oh, yeah, right. I remember that. Oh, yeah, right. That feels right. Ha. And then put them on their path. Well, the start is a reading. And then if they really want to go further and fast, I do coaching and help them week by week to go further and deeper into themselves. Yeah, that's what I'm here to do for.
Beautiful. I love it. I know you and I have spoken many times before, but I love this whole tourist on Earth idea. Just I resonate with that so much. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Roger, please go ahead.
I am in Los Angeles, so in the United States, and I am the reluctant mystic. No, that's who I was for many years. And I didn't understand why. And so, but it was obviously to be at this event because you're calling it speed healing. And that's the process that we're in right now in our lives and also in the world. And so we're trying to hurry up and get it done. But
Mhm.
it's a process. And that's where we're going to have to remember to slow down. So, what I have been doing is doing automatic writing since 1989, and then didn't know what it was turning out to be. Contacted my guide Wilhelm, and then all of a sudden it turned into this philosophy that was specifically designed for this time because they started explaining to me it was all energy. It's all energy, consciousness, and emotions, and we're all moving through it, and we all have it. And so we're moving through our ancestral patterns and fears and doubts to get to the place where we can create this better world. And
Mhm.
so I guess I was supposed to chart some of that. So I'll show a little bit of that later when we do that, our little presentation.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Roger. Yes, I've had the opportunity to do look up a date with you, and it was just incredible, your message. So it's really beautiful work. Thank you so much. Emilia, please go ahead.
Hi, I'm Amelia Moreland, and I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm in Houston, Texas, and I have so many ways I try to shed light. I have so many things I try to use my work to do, but today I feel really led to talk about how we have like this mass amount of unconscious people that are just struggling and they don't know why. And I feel like we have like a group of spiritually led people that are really in depth and they feel it and they gravitate towards like all of this healing stuff, and then you have all these people that are struggling, and there's this gap that needs to be bridged. So one of the ways that I'm really trying to shed my light is by bridging that gap and making healing something digestible and something that they can be receptive to, that they can take their own power back little by little, and little pieces that they can actually swallow that doesn't feel like it's too much or overwhelming, and just expand the group of people that are in tune with their intuition and themselves, and just help them, pull themselves up so they don't have to suffer. I agree with what is your name? You're in Mexico. I love what you say with the
Yeah.
tourist on Earth as well. This all this suffering that we don't have to have, all these problems that we don't have to have, and a lot of times people really don't understand that they could let it be simple. And so bringing light into how to do that.
That's beautiful, Emilia. I don't know why, but the thought came to mind of back when I had IBS. I had IBS for almost 15 years.
Mhm.
And I thought I was, it was the food, it was this, it was that. And since I am aware and in the moment, I IBS has completely disappeared. So
Yeah.
yes, I can relate so much to that, what you're saying, but in so many aspects of our lives, right? It's
Yeah.
incredibly powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Beautiful. Andrew, please go ahead.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Andrew Michael Horton. I'm the founder of Extraordinary Men's Network, and I'm an extraordinary life coach. I studied under Joseph McClendon III, who has his proprietary coaching methodology, and it uses modalities such as NLP and neuroassociative conditioning, Gestalt theory, and in a sense hypnotherapy as well. And I would say the best thing it links to is neuroplasticity in terms of throughout our lives we've all been conditioned to think and believe in certain ways, and many of us feel like we're stuck many of us, not us because we're different, but many people on this earth, believe that this is, they were born this way. They're an angry person. They're a worrier. They're a stressed person. They're anxious, and they can't change it. Well, I've experienced, and Joseph has taught us how to rewire the brain, basically, so that you no longer have to be stuck in those limiting patterns of behavior, limiting thought patterns. And through my coaching, I mainly deal with men, and a common thing is imposter syndrome and self-esteem issues. They, for whatever reason, many different reasons, they are stuck in a rut of despair and, that low self-esteem when it hits you and you just don't feel worthy. I show them and I guide them to their own realization of who they've always been and maybe forgot about, and so they can live an extraordinary life. That's what I do.
It's beautiful work, very inspirational. And as we know, that not identifying as your true self, it can lead to so many other things like alcoholism, drug use, depression, so it's beautiful
Been there,
work
done that.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Awesome. Thank you so much. Vinaya, please, will you offer a demonstration or guided practice of your technique and share a transformation or a testimonial from a client?
Okay. Well, there's bazillions of ways to approach this subject of becoming free from the programming and all of that. And the basic thing, what I understand, or one of the basic things, is the mind, which is a programmed machine who, in my case, would like to act like a German, because that's how you get raised, right? And what I found very important is to actually follow my heart instead of the mind. Follow my intuition, my gut feeling, my vision, whatever sign I see. And whoa, yep, there is a challenge because, and I give you an example. I was going to town with my motorbike, old story, but never mind. And I always put my key on my belt. And that morning, for some reason, now I wanted to put it on my bag. And instantly, I knew that's not a good idea. And instantly, my mind goes, well, what's the problem? You always take care of your bag. Don't worry about it. Okay. They both come very quick, but the intuition comes first. So one wants to learn to really be aware and conscious of the first thing. Well, the story in the end is like my bag, I gave it to a friend and he went with a taxi home and I was standing with my bike in town and couldn't get home. I knew instantly, and my mind was correct. I always take care of my bag. Just this morning, somewhat, my heart knew that's not a good idea. So there's a wonderful exercise I learned and found really works. So if I want to notice this voice, then what I do is, like, say the mind says, I want a coffee, or I want to go into the disco, or what? So I immediately stop, close my eyes, become conscious of my breath, how it goes in and out. And then I go, heart, I am in the disco. How does it feel? And I get a feeling. If that's not clear, then I go, heart, I'm not in the disco. How does that feel? Heart, I am drinking a coffee. Heart, I am whatever. And so by and by learning to notice and recognize this feeling, this instantaneous knowing, and we can practice that with every decision we have to make. Oh, I want to go to Spain. Yeah, well, the heart, if I feel in, wow, that feels great. The mind goes, no, you can't. You don't have money and you don't speak Spanish and it's like, you don't even know and whatever. totally good arguments. I have to follow the feeling. And out of my 50 years of experience, when I started following my feeling, always right. With the key, when I'm not following my intuition or the knowing, always wrong. So I would invite you to practice that. Like, heart, I'm going for a walk. Like, first, really check in. Become conscious of your breath. That brings me out of my mind and instantly into the here and now. And then I visualize I'm in the disco. I am in Spain. How does it feel? And by, I learned to recognize this voice and hopefully follow it, because that voice is always right. The mind is always wrong. So, yes. I can give you like a few examples of that, but trust me, the mind is always wrong. Yeah, that would be something worthwhile practicing, because, like I say, intuition, always right. And that makes our life already a little bit more according to our path, according to what we really want. Yeah, with the extraordinary man at work, yeah, man, I'm not supposed to cry. But it feels right now. So I have to do that. And wow, what a relief. Wow, I'm still a man, even though I'm crying. Like in Germany, a man doesn't cry. So that's why that example comes. I hope this is helpful. And yeah.
So helpful. And you know, there are no coincidence. My friends are leaving for Spain in about 2 weeks, and I've been saying, I want to go.
Well,
Oh,
go
the
for
odds
it.
of you picking that country are just like incredible. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Roger, please go ahead.
Okay, am I able to share my screen?
Oh, maybe. Try.
Okay, first of all, you said something so fascinating, and everybody said something about this. You said there no coincidence, no accidents. And so the message, and everybody said something to this. The message that I have today on this site, I'm going to show you this. And everybody will get some of this because this is exactly what we're doing. And it is, your value was never lost, but you intended to uncover more of it during this physical life experience.
Oh my gosh. So
That's
amazing.
exactly that's exactly what we're doing. And then so to have this make sense where that came from so that people will understand a bit more of what this work is, this is what I started doing. This was I started in 1989. I said I'm going to sit down and start doing automatic writing. Didn't know why. Didn't even understand it at that point. I'd been meditating and all, but I thought, let me try this because I needed some help. And I read something about a person who had done this, a business guy. So I said, oh, let me try that. And information started coming through that was quite surprising, and I didn't trust it. And I love that about trusting yourself, what you hear. That was my difficulty forever, but I kept writing it. And that's how all those pages got there. And it wasn't, and I wasn't going to show anyone because it didn't make sense to me. I said they're not going to understand it. And in 2008, though, they started to get published because other people found them and said, "Oh, this makes sense. This helps me so much." And we all need that because we don't see ourselves, and other people will point things out and said, "Oh, yeah, this is great." And that's what I did. But then it changed again. And this is what I don't know if I'll leave a link here so if people want to have this. I put together a little demonstration of it, and it's kind of like a little mini course because I started to discover um, this organization in our lives in the universe so we don't completely understand because everything is energy and it changes and there's cycles and it changes over time, and that will affect us in different ways depending where we came from, what country, what beliefs we have, and all of that. But as humans, we're all doing the same thing. We're moving through those barriers within us to get to that next place. That's what's occurring in our world right now, even though it looks a little different. It looks like, wait a minute, is it falling apart? Nope, it's asking for us to build it. And that's what started to come about. And so this is a little example of the organization that I started to find. I just did one day. I've done many days like this, but this one will be fun for people to move through because my work is about the individual, about getting you to know why you're here and how you can move through something. And it's a day by day thing, just as what I did every single day. So that's what I'm giving to my clients. And we this is interesting. This was April 4th, and it said money. I didn't know that was happening. That message today is the same thing about this. Examining your beliefs about money can be a very valuable exercise for you. See, because all of us have our issues in certain areas, and they're going to be within us, within our generations, and all, and we have to come to figure out where we might be stuck in within that. And so, but then you go to the next day, next year, actually, because this is to show that there's a progression that happens within us in our individual understanding and also collective. And so, and that's what's happening now. And your immediate acceptance of everything that shows up in your life experience is the key to your salvation. Oh no, I couldn't do that. That's going to be too challenging. No, these horrible things are going to come. And then I'll go to the next year because maybe I got that okay. And I still can't tell you how these came out in order like this, okay? You are indeed the creator of your physical life experience, and you did so from a place far beyond your current level of awareness and consciousness. When that came through me in 2010, I had no idea what that meant. I can talk about it now. And that's what it is. We integrate, we find information, we integrate it within ourselves, and then we can give it to the collective society. And that is what is occurring now, which is why I had to be pushed to do my work because I had been hiding, and we all have done that in certain areas, you know. So now it's time for us to take that big step. And that's what I'm doing.
Roger, that is so beautiful. I love it. You know, I did like it more when it was about me.
Well, it still is. Here, I'll
You
put the
know how
link.
we are as humans.
Yeah, that's the link. If anybody wants to, I'll put in the link and I'll put in the group too later. But that's the link to that little document. It'd be fun for people to do it.
Oh, yes, they won't be able to see the links in the live because that's
I'll put in,
Zoom and then
right,
it's YouTube. But yes, we'll add it to the
right,
comments so people
right,
can find it. Thank you
right.
so much.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. One day, hopefully, we'll have another healer in the speed healing that was born after you started, and you'll be able to look them up. That would be amazing. Thank you so much. Emilia, please go ahead.
Um, so I'm kind of mine is a little bit backwards as far as like testimonial versus the practice itself. And this is something that I've given to people that have called me, clients that are just like, I'm I'm about to call 911. I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. And I'm like, you're having a panic attack. And here's how we're gonna calm down. Here's how we're gonna step out of that. A lot of times people are panicking and freaking out because they're perceiving all of these threats around them and it's not even happening. It's just perceived. It's perceived future. It's perceived problem. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming right now because the more their subconscious is playing it, the more their subconscious is telling them it's happening right now. And so what I do is I help people kind of just come back out of that and realize, you know, you're sitting in your house, you've got the roof over your head, you've got food to eat, you're okay. Like calm down. And a lot of therapists use the practice that I'm going to demonstrate, but I also put it in my nervous system mini course as well, because it's just a really simple way to ground yourself. And, you know, it's in the middle of the day right now. I don't know who's watching on the live stream, but I'm sure there's some people at work. I'm sure some people have been maybe arguing with their boss or stressed out. And so I'm thinking, you know, maybe we can just help them all orient back into their body, into their surroundings. So I like to use this five senses. So I tell people to just take some deep breaths, put their feet on the ground. I like to take my shoes off because I'm a little hippie, but and if they don't have something supporting their back, they can touch their back because that signals to the body that you have some shelter, that you're protected and that you're grounded. And I tell them to go ahead and just tell themselves that they're here in their body and that they're safe. And we go through sight first, which is 5 objects. I like to just let your eyes wander around. You find 5 objects to look at. You notice the size, the shape, the color. Notice the exit. Notice, whether you're inside or outside, and just kind of orient yourself into that. And then bringing your attention to 4 different sounds. And you can think of the different distinct sounds, and you just kind of listen to them and get into them while you're breathing. And let yourself feel safe with those sounds. Let yourself feel like, you know what, it's over there. It's not coming at me. I'm right here. I'm sheltered. I'm not exposed. I'm fine. And then I like to shift the awareness to touch. And, like I'm sitting at my desk, so I like to touch the little fuzzy thing, or have fidget spinners or something that's just, you can see how it feels. You can notice the texture, and just kind of ground yourself into, again, your environment of what you have control over, what's around you, and what feels safe. And then from there, I like to have people think of maybe 2 things they can smell. And it just pulls you into your body a little bit more. And there's might be scents in the air, there might be something around, there might be something you don't like the way it smells, but just identifying what's in your environment, and that it's not an attack. It's just a part of your environment. And then also I like to have people think about one thing they can taste. And by the time they go through the 5 different things, and we go through the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all your senses, they feel like they're less outside of their head and more inside of their body. And then they're not really panicking as much as they were. And once we get down to that grounded state, you're closer to your parasympathetic state. And what that means is that if you feel like you have problems that you can't solve, if you're in your survival response, you're not going to be able to solve them, because you're going to feel cornered and your brain is just going to turn off. You're just going to look at the one thing in front of you, hyperfixate on it, and you just not have a lot of fun. And when we pull back down to the parasympathetic state, your flexible thinking opens up. And then, you might be thinking, you know what, that's not really a bad thing that just happened to me. Maybe there might be something really good that could come out of that just scared the crap out of me. Maybe I'll be all right. Maybe this person, I shouldn't take it so personally what they said, because, maybe they're in their survival response and it's not actually personal against me. It opens up the idea of all of this thought process that they can do. So that's that little exercise. But yeah, I hope anybody watching this at work, if you're stressed out, it's okay to relax and you are safe. And yeah.
That's beautiful, Amelia. I know I enjoyed going through it with you. It's a beautiful exercise. Thank you for sharing. Andrew, please.
Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. Because I had mic problems. So yeah, on the spot, I didn't know exactly what this call was going to be. So I'm like, all right, let's rack the brain and find out one of those techniques I use, change lives. I'm going to guide you through the stop technique, which is used to, and I'm not a fan of this expression, but it's pertinent, kill the monster while it's a baby. Because when that monster gets too big, it can consume you and, well, destroy you. So this is a technique that will, when it's used correctly, allow you to mitigate those pesky negative feelings that can overrun you and derail your whole day if it happens early, and keep you awake at night and all that. So stop stands for S, say it. T, take a breath. O is your outcome, and P is to praise. And before we begin, I'll give you a demonstration, and I would like, if you feel comfortable, to take part in mirroring me and doing what I do. I would like you to think of the last thing or the first thing that comes to you that brought you comfort, joy, whichever is stronger feeling. Remember how it felt that when that joy washed over you, when that excitement hit you and your nerves were tingling. And when you feel it strong enough and your eyes might be closed and you feel that excitement, I would like you to clench your fist, put a smile on your face, take a breath, and say, yes! And then relax. We'll do that one more time, same situation. Bring it up in your mind, feel the tingles, feel the comfort, the relaxation. Squeeze the fist, take a deep breath, smile and say, yes! Awesome. So that's going to be our kind of magic wand. And now we're going to be thinking about that monster, that little baby monster before it gets into the big beast. What is it for you? What is a recurring sensation, thought, reaction? You're triggered, you become angry. Like, give it a name, the emotion, the feeling. Is it anger? Is it disappointment? Is it frustration? And, when you get into that feeling, you know what's going to happen. You're going to bite someone's head off that had nothing to do with the situation in the first place. You're going to make rash decisions, you're going to give your bag to your friend who has your key on it, and you're going to be waiting around town with nowhere to go, right? So, we don't want that to happen. We want to be clear. So, if you have a label for it, and where it's anger or shame or shyness or frustration, I would like you to, as you're sitting down, close your eyes, and for 5 to 10 seconds, think about a time where you had that. Build it up, not too strong. I don't want to see any tears, but just feel it enough that it's present. And I'm going to count down from 5 seconds, and I'm going to say stop. And I want you to jump up and go through the fist clench, smile, deep breath. Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop! Yes! And as a bonus, you can give it a little booty shake and be like, yeah, did it. I don't want you to do it 5 more times. Quicker, quicker. 3 seconds, negativity, up, shake it out, down. 3, 2, 1. Stop! Yes! All right, one more time. Let's do it one more time. One more time. Okay, feel that feeling, the negativity, the trigger, the frustration, whatever you call it. 3, 2, 1. Stop! Yes! And that's it. You do that when you're feeling good. This is the thing. This is the magic. You do it when you're feeling good. You force yourself to feel that little monster inside you, that, the negativity, and then you crush it with the thing that makes you feel good. And what we're doing is neuroplasticity. Next time you're in a situation that would normally trigger that action, the negativity, you'll be surprised how you actually are like, yeah, right. And no, you don't get frustrated. You do not get angry. You do not, do the action that would normally make you regret. So that is the stop technique. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being active participants. And I hope if it doesn't, I hope it serves you, but pass it on to others, because there's so many people out there who are oblivious to the fact that they can stop that negative pattern of thinking and acting. So thank you very much for listening.
Beautiful, Andrew. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you all for sharing a sample of what you do. We're going to go around one more time, and I want you to highlight what makes your work unique And why is it so deeply needed in today's world? We have about 10 minutes left, so I just want to be conscious of that, put that out there. But we're going to go around one more time, and if you could share what makes your work unique and why is it so needed in today's world? Thank you. Vinaya, please go first.
Well, why am I unique? Well, we all are unique. Maybe the difference is that I actually stepped into it and have no problem with being totally different, stepping on people's feet and da 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 da. And for all of us to understand that uniqueness is inherited in us. And if we look around, and it's a little quick exercise, if we look around in existence, I give you a big applause if you find anything which is not perfect, anything which does not have a space or a reason to be there. So why would you be the only person in existence or being in existence who is not perfect? And making that as an exercise and really understanding and feeling, yes, I got created this way. It has to be perfect because everything is perfect. And once we step into this feeling of, yes, I might not necessarily see in with little points my role is and all of that, but I can feel already, yes, God created me this way. I am perfect. So I'm also unique. And that suddenly gives me the freedom to be that unique being. And I lived that for the last 50 years. And I can tell you that just being that will make a change in the world. Because we are then suddenly free and live our life according to our beingness. And that makes us unique. That makes us special. Even though there's nothing special about it, but it is special. I hope that makes sense. But really, maybe as a little quick exercise, like I do this once, twice, 5 times a day, depends. Doesn't matter where I'm sitting. I close my eyes, I breathe a little bit, or become conscious of my breath. Then I open my eyes and wow, I see what I have, how amazing everything is. And I can express my gratefulness to be the way I am and to be here on planet Earth, to be allowed to have this experience. And that gratefulness, try it out, see how that feels.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's wonderful. Roger, please go ahead.
I wrote an article this morning and did a video. Said, you can't be partially authentic. And what that was a message that I received 10 years ago in 2015. But obviously I didn't do that. And the point of that was we can find information and not accept it at certain times because we're trying to find it within ourselves. We're always trying to find that place of truth and knowingness, and it may take a while because that's the programming that we each have, which everybody has talked about quite a bit. And it came to me because I was watching this was years ago, I was watching Joaquin Phoenix, the actor. He was doing an interview and he had been doing all this weird stuff and people were judging him and they couldn't figure out why he was going around and being in this mask and these different disguise. It was just strange. And he did a film about it. And then he was on the interview. He goes, well, okay, I guess that didn't make a lot of sense why I was doing all of that. But then what he came to realize afterwards, well, he says he said something like, public humiliation can be liberating because see, then you're not worried anymore about what people think of you. You've just like you've broken through something because that's what we're always doing is breaking through that next barrier within us of, okay, this is who I am today. And if we can think about it that way, like we're doing it all the time, every single day, that's the thing that gets us to where we want to be. And it doesn't matter what we've been through, what any of that, it's always the next place. Where do we go now? and that's it. And sometimes we have to throw ourselves out there in front of people to break free. And so the thing in the work that I do is getting people to that place because I couldn't get there. And I know how terrible it feels to not own yourself. And so whatever we can do to cause more people to know that they have worth and value in this world, I think that's the speed healing that we're doing, Melanie. So yeah. And that's it.
Beautiful.
It's about getting people to know them. Right. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Roger. Thank you. Yes, that's just being your authentic self. So powerful. Thank you. Emilia, please.
I think what makes my practice unique is that just because I went to hypnotherapy school and I graduated as a hypnotherapist, doesn't mean I put a pin in my education and said, okay, I know enough now. There is like no end to studying and reinvesting in my own knowledge because I really truly believe that if I am not pushing myself to understand the body, understand the mind, understand myself to the most depth that I can, then how can I best serve the people that come to me for relief? And that is like my biggest thing. There is just there's no end to say anything that I find any interest in that I feel like is connected to my practice. Like I love to study epigenetics. I love to study midwifery. I love to study all of these other things that don't necessarily go into that hand in hand, but hypnotherapy is the foundation that I'm able to reach so many other people and so many other vast topics to help them because there's a bigger understanding. So I think that the education that I'm never going to stop pursuing does set me apart from other practices and stuff as well because um, people don't read anymore. People are not they're not interested in furthering their mind and their knowledge as much as they used to be. But I'm addicted to it, and
Mhm.
that's one vice I'll keep. But yeah,
Yeah, beautiful. And your growth shows every time we connect. I can see it. So that's beautiful.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Andrew, please.
Sure. Yeah. What was the question? Sorry.
What's unique about your work and why is it so needed in today's world?
Oh gosh. Well, it's unique because I do it and I'm a badass and it works. Um, it's needed because it's needed because victim mentality has become so prevalent, ubiquitous that people starting to believe. So many people I meet believe that they are stuck the way they are, and they have good days. They'll say they have bad days, and they wish they could be different, but they don't know. And so my mission is to be a living demonstration, I suppose, of how we can change. So whether it's losing weight, like 35 kilos, or getting sober after 30 years of alcoholism, 5 years, 5 years sober now, um, being incredibly shy and introverted and embarrassed about everything I do, to standing in front of 60, 100, 20-year-old girls in university, dancing on the stage, being a being the entertaining clown in my university. I've changed completely thanks to the tutoring and mentorship of Joseph McClendon III and my peers at the Neuroencoding Institute. So whether it's imposter syndrome, fear of failure, fear of success, self-loathing, um, there's a solution, and I have one of them. There's many. There's more modalities out there, and it really depends on who resonates with me because I've had my hell yeah clients, and I've also had to say no to people because we just don't jive. But the solution is there, and what I do works, and it's needed because people don't have to live in, victim land, and they don't have to hate themselves, and they don't have to, it's that feeling of life is worthless or life is just too hard, keep going. I hate to bring this up, but where I live in South Korea, they have one of the highest suicide rates in the world. And in young men or men 20 to 30, it's incredibly high. And globally, there's an issue of male loneliness. And I want to be able to show I'm available, people to reach out, and I will share my story with anyone who will listen. And if I can make a difference, just one person, to see that there's a possibility that things can be different and life can be better, I'm here for them.
Beautiful, but very powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here today. Oh my gosh, I always have such a good time. It's kind of hard to end these sessions, but I
Do we
just
have time?
really want to thank you for your time. Go ahead, Roger.
I don't know if we had time for any birthday messages.
Oh, birthday messages. Oh, yeah. Well,
If anyone wants
I
one,
say no.
let's try. Okay, I just need the month and day of anyone.
January 10th.
January 10th. Okay, we'll do that one first. 1 second. And we'll see what happens. This will be fun.
Oh, I know it's good.
Okay, let's see. The only true responsibility that you hold is to your physical life experience. Everything you then decide to do affects and adds to that very experience. The moment you begin to feel that you are responsible or obligated to anything outside of your experience, you have temporarily lost your way. It is important that you remember your original intention when you decided to have a physical life experience, and that was to continually expand, evolve, and most importantly, enjoy yourself. When you take that into consideration first, you gain the pride and accomplishment of your experience, and then you are also able to make any and every contribution to all that is that you desire. That was your message, Andrew, and that is you. That came through in 2012.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still going. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Amelia, what did you say?
3/6, March 6th.
March 6th. Okay, let's see. March 6th. Oh, okay. This is yeah, this is good. Let's reread it. Okay. You created this life to have, oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Sorry, wrong one. Okay, here it is. Okay. March 6th. Okay. It becomes imperative that you give up blame in all its forms in order that you might regain your personal power. Whenever you use blame for anything that occurs in your physical life experience, you also give up all control of your experience. This includes even blaming yourself. Whenever you use the word blame, you are indicating that you believe something has gone wrong, and you may block the awareness and wisdom the experience was designed to provide for you. Taking responsibility means that you believe you were at cause and therefore also have the ability to make new choices that bring you different results. Any tendency to use blame diminishes your worth. That was yours.
I have the t-shirt.
I was just thinking, I'll take that one too. That's got me all over it. Yeah,
I
sure.
have the t-shirt.
Wow.
Beautiful. Every day is my birthday, Roger. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being
That was
here.
fun.
I look forward to having you all again on the One Conscious Love Network. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone, for watching.